Welcome to the May 2019 Star Wars Canon Update. Last month we got a new VR experience and a bunch of new comics, so let's get started. I want to start with Vader Immortal, since this is such a unique story with kind of a high barrier of entry. It's only on Oculus Quest right now, but it will be coming to other Oculus platforms in the future. But I got it and played it, and it's really cool, and I'm going to get into some minor spoilers here, so if you want to avoid those, skip ahead to the timecode on your screen. Your character is a Force-sensitive smuggler who is forced into Vader's castle because you're one of the last descendants of Lady Corvax, who was former royalty on Mustafar. As you make your way through the fortress, you learn about the planet's history and an artifact called the Bright Star that Vader is looking for, which will help him defeat death. It seems like he's trying to reach Padme again, like he did in Charles Soule's Darth Vader comics. The whole thing is very immersive, and using a lightsaber is a blast. If you have a Quest, it's definitely worth the $10. If you have another Oculus product, I'd wait for it to come to your platform. Moving on to comics, Star Wars issues 65 and 66 brought us near the end of the Scourging of Shu Torun arc. Two Tubes captures Luke and forces R2 to overload a facility on the planet that will rip it apart. Queen Trios dies attacking Leia, trying to save her world, and the princess promises she won't let Two Tubes get away with it. The Empire has also turned on Shu Torun, bombarding the planet, hoping to take out all those rebel heroes on the ground. So there's a lot going on, and we'll find out what happens in next month's issue, which is the last one to be written by Kieran Gillen. As Star Wars gets closer to ending an arc, Dr. Aphra is beginning a new one. She's back to treasure hunting, which I love, and she's taken her new friend from Milvain under her wing. But we also get some flashbacks to young Aphra's family life and how she got her willingness to sacrifice anything or anyone for her own obsessions from her father. We also meet her mom and see how she died, effectively making Aphra an orphan. But back in the present, Aphra steals an ancient Far Killer, basically a sniper rifle that used lightsaber tech, which is the second lightsaber gun we've now seen. Then rebels come to take it from her, led by Magna Tolvin, so it'll be interesting to see her and Aphra back together. I still really love this series, and this arc is off to a promising start. There were 4 new issues of Age of Rebellion last month: Han Solo, Boba Fett, Lando Calrissian, and Jabba the Hutt. The Han story told us how he lost the credits he got in A New Hope, preventing him from paying Jabba back. It's pretty straightforward. He gets himself wrapped up in unnecessary trouble, and the credits are taken from him by force. Boba Fett shows us a story where he's presented as kind of a hero, but then it's spun on its head, making it clear that he's not. He's only willing to do something good if there's money in it. The Lando and Jabba issues were just kind of so-so to me. I did like seeing Lando's growth as a person. It's a good bridge between Solo, the Lando comic, and The Empire Strikes Back. And then the Jabba issue, he just wasn't in it all that much. He's shown to be kind of a manipulator on Tatooine, which I liked, but I would have liked to dig into his personality a little more. Still though, the Age of Rebellion comics have been a lot of fun, just like Age of Republic. TIE Fighter's second issue showed the pilots of Shadow Wing being captured by other Imperials, basically defectors who are striking out on their own. They aren't joining the rebellion, but they can see that the Empire is failing, so they're doing their own thing. Shadow Wing plays along, but they're about to take that group down. There was also a neat flashback between 2 characters from the Han Solo Imperial Cadet comic that I enjoyed a lot. It was some fun connectivity I wasn't expecting, and even though I didn't love Imperial Cadet, I liked catching up with those 2 and seeing how they've changed in the 10 years or so since. The second issue of Galaxy's Edge was good. When they announced this series, I didn't think I'd be all that into it, but color me impressed. I like the idea of getting a story within a story every time. The ongoing bit during the time of the First Order is really cool and mysterious. Basically, Kylo Ren is after some sort of Sith relic that Doc Ondar has, and some mercenaries are trying to get it before they can. But there was also a pretty fun story about Greedo, where he actually gets to be kinda cool. I'm far more interested in the ongoing part of the comic, but the flashbacks are neat too. The second to last issue of Vader Dark Visions came out, and as we go on, I'm having a hard time getting into this one. The first issue was neat, but they're so disconnected. This one was about a hotshot, arrogant rebel pilot coming into contact with Vader and getting cold feet, leading to the destruction of his entire squad. Which is fine, but Vader wasn't really in it all that much. Also, I think I'm just getting Vader burnout in the comics. Gillen and Soule's ongoing series were really great because they revealed new things about the character in very interesting ways. Dark Visions just isn't grabbing me, and I know we've got another Vader miniseries coming up, and I'd be perfectly fine exploring something brand new instead. Oh well. Star Wars Adventures had a fun Han and Luke story where Han tries to get more credits for the rebellion by gambling everything he and Luke have on a swoop race. There was also a free issue for Free Comic Book Day, which fell on May 4th this year, and Han races through the galaxy on a treasure hunt. Both of them were enjoyable, but it's Star Wars Adventures, they're for kids. And for the last story of the month, this one is weird because it technically doesn't belong in the Canon update. But to celebrate Marvel's 80th anniversary, there was a new release in the original Star Wars comic run, which is now considered to be Legends. But I didn't want to do a completely separate Legends update video, so here we are. I'm not all that familiar with those old comics, but I still enjoyed reading this one. It felt like a celebration of those old storylines and characters, and provided enough context for me to follow along. It even made me interested in going back and checking out the old collections. I think it's pretty awesome that they made a new Legends story, and if it goes over well, who knows, maybe that's something that can happen more often down the line. For Story of the Month in May, I'm awarding it to Vader Immortal. It's such a unique and exciting experience, and there's already more story than I was expecting in the first episode alone. I know it's not something everyone can check out, so I've done a couple videos on it that I'll put in the cards, but the story was great and the lightsaber training dojo is also really fun. In June, we're getting a new novel, Alphabet Squadron, and I'll go ahead and tell you it's awesome. We'll also get 8 new comic issues, including Star Wars 67, Dr. Aphra 33, Age of Rebellions for Luke and Vader, TIE Fighter 3, Galaxy's Edge 3, Vader Dark Visions 5, and Star Wars Adventures 22. But that's it for May. The Canon Update will return on July 1st to cover all those new June stories. Until then, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for more in-depth coverage on these stories as they're released, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.